Word problems. We are going to be looking at how to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction. When you encounter word problems, you need to understand the problem first, then you find out what is being asked for. Then after that, you have to use only the information that you need, and you ignore additional information that is not necessary. Now, the process: you use the information to perform operation required, then for you to come up with the correct solution and answer. These are the steps to follow when solving word problems. 1. You read and understand the problem. Reading and understanding the problem is very vital. 2. You identify the given information, the informations that were provided in the questions. 3. You know what is being asked. You read carefully to know what you are being asked to do. 4. You determine the operation or operations to be used. You have to know if you are using addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. The next one, you write the number sentence, that is the sentence to solve. Then lastly, you solve for the answer. So these are the steps to follow when solving word problems. Let's look at this example. Hani harvested 397 pieces of papaya and 264 pieces of guavas. If she sold 360 pieces of these fruits, how many pieces of fruit were left for family consumption? You read the question again to understand it better. Now let's look at the things we were given. We were given 397 pieces of papaya, 264 pieces of guavas, and 360 pieces sold. So these are the information given. Now, what are you asked to do? Now, you were asked to find the number of fruits that were left. So that's what they're asking you to do. You are being asked to find the number of fruits left. Now the next thing is to look for the operation. Now visibly, you need to find the total number of fruits, which will involve addition, and then to find what is left, you need subtraction. Now the number sentence, it will be the sum of the fruits that you have minus the fruits that were sold, for you to find the piece of fruit that were left for family's consumption. Now let us add first, then we'll subtract. So adding, now you add 397 and 264. So by the time you add, you have 661. So the solution gives 661. Then you can then proceed to subtract your answer 661 from 360, and we have 301. So these actually mean that the fruits that were left there are 301 fruits that were left. Let's look at this second example. Mother bought a banana for 65 pesos and a sweet potato for 48 pesos. If she gave a 200 pesos bill to the fruit vendor, how much was her change? Now let's look at the information that were given. Very good. Now we have banana for 65 pesos, we have sweet potatoes for 48 pesos, and lastly we have 200 pesos bill, which is the amount she gave to the fruit vendor. Now what were you asked to do? You were asked to find how much her change is. How much her change, that's what they're asking us to find. The change that our mother is to take back. Now what's the operation? definitely you are going to be using addition, and also you will be using subtraction. You'll be using addition and subtraction. So where will the addition take place? Let's see this in the number sentence. Very good. Now you have to subtract the number of the amount of money that were used to buy banana and potato. You subtract it from the pesos bill that mother gave to the fruit vendor. So that's what we have there on the screen. We have 200 pesos minus 65 pesos plus 48 pesos. By the time you add what is in the bracket, we have 113 pesos. So you can then proceed to subtract 113 pesos from 200 pesos. By the time we subtracting 113 pesos from 200 pesos, we have this. We have 87 pesos as shown on the screen. So when you subtract, you have 87 pesos. This actually means that our change is 87 pesos. Now let's move to solving word problems involving multiplication. Solving word problems involving multiplication. So this is actually one of the key subtopics when it comes to word problems. So let's look at clear words for multiplication. Words to look out for when we are dealing with multiplication. One, we have product. When you see product, when you see multiply, when you see times, when you see triple, when you see tries, when you see twice, then you know that it's all these, they are dealing with multiplication. When you have double, that's times 2. By, that's multiplication. Area, multiplication. Factor, each. All these, they are words that are related to multiplication. Now let us apply this to this problem. Let's read the question carefully. Mother bought 8 t-shirts at 475 pesos each. How much did she pay in all? Mother bought 8 t-shirts at 475 pesos each. How much did she pay in all? So analyzing the question, you have to draw out the informations that were provided, then you look for what you are being asked to do, then from there the operation, and then you proceed to solving. Now let's solve. Okay, before we start solving, I want you to critically examine the question yourself. Look at what you are being asked to do. Look at the information that is being given. Here what you are asked now is to find how much she paid in all. How much she paid in all, that's the question here. Then from there you move to the information given. If you look at what we have in the question, they said they give us the price of a shirt each. Said it's 475 pesos. They give us the price of a shirt. Yes, it's 475 pesos. So they're now asking us to find the amount she paid for 8 shirts. So the question is asking us the payment of 8 t-shirts, and the given fact is 475 pesos each for a single shirt. So now we move to the operation to be used. Operation to be used is visibly multiplication. We're going to be using multiplication under this question. So now we'll move to the number sentence. What are we going to do here? Basically, if the cost of a shirt is 475 pesos, if the cost of a shirt is 475 pesos each, finding the cost of 8 t-shirts will be multiplying 475 by 8. So that's a number sentence. So from here, do your long multiplication. By the time you multiply 475 by 8, by the time you multiply 475 by 8, you are going to have 3,800 pesos. So the cost of a t-shirt now will be 3,800 pesos. So that is the amount mother is going to pay. Let's look at other examples. Joy has 2,140 Philippine stamps. Then he has 4 times as more foreign stamps as Philippine stamps. How many foreign stamps does he have? Please take your time to study this question carefully. It's a little bit confusing, but if you actually take your time to study it, you will not have issues solving it. Now look at the question again. Joy has 2,140 Philippine stamps. What is being asked? We are asked to find the number of foreign stamps he possesses. So that's the total number of foreign stamps he has. What's the information that was given? We're given 2,140 Philippine stamps, and don't forget they said 4 times as many foreign stamps also. Now the operation to be used visibly is multiplication. We are going to be using multiplication as our operation. Now the next thing is our number sentence. So our number sentence will actually be n to be equals to 2,140 times 4, because we are multiplying the number of Philippine stamps by 4 times as many foreign stamps. So from here now you use your long multiplication to multiply 2,140 times 4. By the time you do that, you have 8,560. So that will be your solution. Our final answer now will now be the number of foreign stamps he has is 8,560. So this is actually very simple, very easy to solve. Now let's proceed. We have Manny bought 18 boxes of marble. Each box had 555 marbles. How many marbles were there in all? Carefully you need to observe and process this question well before you solve. Now you look at it very well. What are we asked to do? What is being asked? He said we should find the number of marbles that were there in all. That's the question. So finding the number of marbles that were there in all, what is the information that were given in the question? The information as to what I can find on the screen now is 18 boxes of marble, and they said each of these 18 boxes cost, okay, so each of these 18 boxes had 555 marbles. Sorry. So from here now you move to the operation that will be used. Visibly is multiplication. So we are going to be using multiplication to solve this problem. And the next one is the number sentence. That will be n equals 555 times 18. So we'll be multiplying the number of marbles, which is 555, by total boxes of marbles, which is 18. Multiply 555 by 18. So multiplying now, you have 9,990 marbles in all. So your final answer now will be that there are 9,990 marbles in all. So that is all about that. Thank you very much for your patience.